Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Untempered. Today I'm sitting down with Emirati stand-up comedian Abs Ali. Abs has opened for international comedians like Wayne Brady, and recently he shared the Etihad Arena with Maz Jobrani and Mo Amer. This episode is sponsored by Aurora, a brand inspired by powerful women for powerful women. You guys might have seen me jump with one of their bags last week on a reel I posted on Instagram. They have an incredible bag architecture and lovely designs. I can't wait for you guys to check out this collection. Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
I'm so glad you got to join me in the studio.
Thank you for
Abs
having
Ali.
me. Thank
Did
you.
I say it right?
You did perfectly.
Abs or labs?
No, you said Abs and Ali. Perfect. You didn't.
I didn't butcher
Ali
either
it.
of them. That's a good start.
No, you said it perfectly. Naila.
Naila, yeah. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, how are you?
I'm so glad to meet you. I wanted to meet you before this, but you flaked on me so many times.
No, because I think you wanted to meet in Ramadan, and I was like, why does everyone want to do everything in Ramadan? Like, this is my month of just trying to be a better human being. And then everyone's like, hey, we want to collab with you. Hey, we have a comedy show. Hey, we have so many things. We just, right now, not like I don't know if you've experienced Ramadan here, but like all the TV shows,
Yeah.
Ramadan.
Yeah.
It's like there's 11 months of the year. We could have produced the shows to be
Everything comes out now.
in Ramadan.
Because people are like at home and, fasting. So they think, okay, they're going to be dedicated to watching TV and stuff like that. I
Yeah.
do. It's so weird. Maybe because it is a holy month, but even living here, I somehow get more motivation when everybody's fasting. And it's the same thing. And I'm like, hey, let's do this. People are like, I'm fasting. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't seem to want to do that.
Feels
before.
the month of connecting, I think.
Yeah,
But maybe
maybe.
everyone has their own different connection.
Yeah.
So I don't like to be alone generally, but I'm just like, I really would want to, and I don't want FOMO, but like it can wait.
Yeah.
Like I love the motivation.
Yeah.
Put that energy, just put it on the side, shwaya, and then after Eid, let's
do stuff.
Let's do it. Yeah.
So if I tell you to do stuff after Eid, now you have to stick to the plan.
I'm down.
You cannot flake anymore.
Perfect. I'll be like the insurance market guy. I'll be everywhere.
With that face.
Yeah. It's just like.
Welcome. I'm so glad that you
you.
came and made it to the podcast. I've been trying to make this happen for so long.
You just wanted to do the clap. You're like, welcome.
Now the
welcome.
Episode, let's go.
The episode officially starts.
Episode officially has started.
Sorry, شوية ADHD. Don't worry. You can do that.
I can do that.
Yeah.
Can I be myself around you?
Yeah, of course.
That's great because I already feel that since you walked through the door. I felt an immense urge to make fun of you, which usually isn't like me.
No. We only roast the ones we love.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
See,
yeah.
I was very offended that you didn't dress up for me. I was expecting a kandura, the full Emirati style. I haven't spoken to like an Emirati comedian / even guest, so you're the first.
I'm glad.
But you look like you went to Sun and Sand Sports.
No, this is my friend's brand. I'm promoting local.
You look great.
I wanted to go Russian mafia / Emirati jacket.
No, I'm kidding. You look good.
Thank you. This is actually, I don't know if you know, this is like the desert motif.
Yeah,
like,
no, I know. Yeah. It looks like.
So I'm blending with the furniture actually. She's just interviewing a couch, guys. She's just.
What do you call this style?
I think it's now you're gonna put me on the spot. Sadu, SADU.
Wait, there's an actual name for it?
Yeah, like the weaving. But this is not. This is just a what is it called? The fleece jacket that they made. Yeah.
No, you look good.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
And so
but next
I
time-
complimented your professional pants, wallah.
I'm overdressed
Yeah.
for what you're wearing, but I'm taking you very seriously.
You are a trooper, mashallah. You do so many things, and I'm
Thank
like,
you.
of course, that's why you're like this. Like maybe to you it's overdressed. Someone who sees you from the outside, they'll just think, oh, that's just her. She's got everything because she does so many things. She's got it.
Thank you. Have you listened to my podcast?
I watched the TEDx talk.
Did you
had.
actually?
Yeah.
That's so nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so lovely. What did you think?
It was cool. It was really good. It was a very good topic about the whole like presumptions.
Yeah.
And I think it's right. I think everyone judges a book by its cover. Like
Yeah.
I had the presumption. I'm like, oh, here we go. Arab girl with an American accent. Let's see what she's got to say. And the moment you say, I'm like, I'm so sorry. I didn't know. I'm like, by the way, I was like, while I was listening to it, I was just like installing lights. I'm like, the first thing you talked about your dad, I'm like, oh man, we suck. We just suck. All of us suck. All Arab men just suck. We just suck. And then we don't want to suck. And then as a guy who also had a dad he wasn't a bad person, but he wasn't really there. I was just like, man, you don't want to fall in that trap. It's I don't know if it's like that superhero, supervillain dilemma. It's like, you're a hero until you become a villain.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if every Arab man or father, even a lot of Western people, they complain about their dads. Like
It's
you
so
just end up
true.
as a villain.
It's so weird too, because like my dad has Arabic roots, and I don't know, is it just because like that generation is just all severely traumatized, and then they've just kind of like passed on the trauma to us and something like that. I don't know what's going on, but yeah. So what is it about your childhood that makes you who you are?
I was touched when I was 5. No, I'm kidding. It's a joke. I was touched when I was 12. That's not a joke. But seriously, that's a different topic. Wow, did he make a molestation joke? He did. Anyways,
Go
we're
for
done.
it. I
We're
love
done.
these. This is a safe
done.
space.
Too dark?
We are ready.
All right.
Not at all. Nothing is too dark.
What made
you know.
me the way I am? My mom made me the way I am, really, because my mom was my dad, my mom, my brother, my sister, pretty much all in one. And we did grow up in our dad's culture a bit, but I guess also friends. Like, have you ever heard of the saying, genetics loads the gun, but environment pulls the trigger?
Yeah.
So it's the environment, really. Nurture versus nature.
Nurture versus nature.
Yeah.
So what makes abs? Is it nurture, nature? Do you feel mostly like you've made yourself who you are, or you didn't follow along anybody's step?
I don't think I made myself who I was. I think it was a lot of influences. There's things I think that are core beliefs that don't change. So like growing up, I didn't drink. And it's not because of a religious thing. My father was an alcoholic, but he wasn't a bad alcoholic. He was just a person who was addicted. And I didn't realize he was an alcoholic till later on. Like even, I don't think even my mom realized till later on that he was an alcoholic. But I didn't drink because of that. But then I would go out with my friends who drank, and I would hang out with them. They'd be drunk and everything. And then I'd be like, oh, okay, this is what it's supposed to be, a man.
Yeah.
You know, you'd see things. They didn't do anything horrible from what I've seen, but it's just like, oh, okay, that's how you talk to girls. Oh, that's like what boys do. They get into fights. You know, they're rough. When you grow up in a household where it's just a mom and a nanny.
Yeah.
Or as the Westerners like, you were raised by lesbians? It's like, no.
You're like, no.
No. We hired this one. Okay, this was not. It's
we paid this. This one was paid.
yeah. No, she's employed, and the love is free. It's addition. It's from her side. No, but even like our house, like I only had the older brother, and in my mom's side of the family, which we grew up with, most of them were girls. So it was a very feminine energy house, I would say. But my mom wasn't the most feminine person, but she wasn't the most masculine person either. So yeah, it started with mom, and then grew up with the neighborhood kids, and then studying abroad, and then
Where?
Comedy. I studied in New Zealand.
Oh wow, nice.
Yeah,
oh my gosh. I just realized just recently somebody told me that they call them kiwis.
Yeah, because of the bird, and they used to be
Yeah.
the highest producers of kiwi fruit.
Yeah.
They should call Arabs kiwis. You know why?
Why?
Because we're hairy on the outside and sweet on the inside. Wow.
That should catch on, actually.
It should.
Yeah. Because I honestly don't think you look Arab. Like when I first saw your videos, until I obviously saw like the Arabic writing, and I didn't even think you were Emirati. Like it was such a shock to me. I don't know why, but that's actually bad. That means I'm walking around thinking like there's a stereotype maybe in my head. But then when I heard you speak, I was like, is he like Emirati? And then I realized that's a
You're
stupid
like, where's
question.
that accent?
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like, where are you? Hey, you.
Yes.
Yo, Nela, how are you? Snapchat, can I please? What? You want Spanish?
Exactly.
Yeah, I know.
You know, I grew up in Alain.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Like actually, like Alain, like
Wow,
you know,
damn.
all the roundabouts.
Yeah, I know.
Like mine was.
I work in Abu Dhabi, so I know. I go to Al Ain. Wallah, Al Ain's a nice place, very chill.
Yeah, I used to have a really good Emirati accent.
Hey,
I
wallah.
was very proud.
Did
of
you
it.
do the yola? No, that's a guy
The thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to.
And you
then
had your hair waving?
Yeah,
Yeah,
everything. All my
wow.
friends were local. I was very proudly encompassed by the local community.
It's a good big
And then
word.
I went to LA
I love
now.
how you trusted me to know that word. You're like, his English is good. I can use encompass. What? Cumbus? Is north?
Gumbus.
Gumbus? What's north? But that's
Yeah,
good. Now watch everyone message you after this episode. They're like, you are in this school. I want to make marriage.
Do you think I need to make more friends in Dubai though, actually? Because I think everyone thinks I'm American. So not many Arabic people like approach me.
Yeah.
I think I need to maybe speak more Arabic.
I honestly thought you were like more Americanized, like Cali girl kind of, to be
No,
honest.
that's the thing. When you get the Californian accent, it's impossible to remove.
yeah,
Like, khalas, it's there.
Yeah.
So
The
that's
خلاص
it.
is there. That's good. خلاص.
لا بحكي عربي أنا.
Okay,
Like
ممتاز.
مرتب يعني.
Yeah,
بس لبناني
مرتب.
العربي تبعي مرتب. But the problem is that means now this is going to cost me so much for the subtitles guy. Because my American audience is
She
not going to be
said
happy.
she hates California and Arabic. No, she didn't.
No.
I'm kidding.
By the way, I wrote like so many questions
Go
for
ahead,
you,
wallah.
but I'm very interested in you because I feel like I watched your videos like a stalker, and I think you're so real.
Thank
Like
you.
I loved the way your comedy. It just doesn't feel forced. It doesn't. I don't know if it is scripted most of the time or whatever. You probably have to have a script before going on stage, but I loved it. I missed your show too, and I was really bummed. But
It's okay. Things
I need
happen.
to make the next one.
Enjoy while you can, because I paid for AI subscription that's gonna run out. Actually, my English language input download pack is gonna run out, so suddenly I
The
might.
jokes are not going to be the
I'm
same.
just going to start speaking slowly. Arabic شوي. Oh no, it's glitching now. Sorry.
Do you do it in Arabic too?
I started. So when I first started, I was doing English and then a bit of Arabic, and then I stopped Arabic completely because I was like, because this is my issue with it. My issue with it is everyone has a different accent dialect, so you get lost in translation. And I adapt other people's dialect. So if إذا أنت كنت حتحكي لبناني بحكي معك لبناني.
Yeah.
I won't be like one of those people who reply to an Emirati and you speak, because I don't like a barrier in general.
Yeah.
Just
I like
in
what you are.
general. Yeah. And
that
I
makes
feel like
sense.
when I speak your accent, it's like, oh, he's one of us. Okay, he gets the nuances. He gets the problem with the Arabic language. It's not that the Arabic language is a beautiful language. Actually, one of the most romantic language.
It is pretty romantic. It's very deep.
It's the most, I think the most words for love is in Arabic.
Yeah.
No one paid me for this, but the problem is it's like no one speaks Fusha. Like if I were to do stand-up in Fusha in classical Arabic, it'll be hilarious because just it sounds Shakespearean.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, doth not thou hateth when thy human cutteth thyself in the streeteth? Hateth when that happens. The Khaliji dialect, I think, is difficult for non-Khalijis to understand, weirdly enough. And then most of the comedy was in Egyptian Arabic, and Egyptian Arabic is complicated for me.
Yeah.
I have a bit of a love-hate.
Really?
Yeah.
It's in why are all the songs Egyptian?
Because you have to understand, like in the 70s, like everything, Egypt and Lebanon and Iraq were like and probably Syria as well. They were what Dubai was now, probably, or right? All the Khaliji students went abroad. So my mom went to Egypt
for school.
Yeah, so she went boarding school and then she did university. My dad went to Egypt for university. بيتكلموا يعني مصري.
Oh,
بجد
like fully?
يعني.
Oh,
Yeah. I thought we were Egyptian growing up for a while. I was like, what the hell is going on?
Did you have an identity crisis growing up? Because this seems like you are mixed. Have you? Can we talk about that for a little bit?
Yeah, so my mom used to speak. So my mom and aunt went to boarding school. So they spoke Egyptian Arabic.
Okay.
And their mom's Syrian. And their dad's Emirati. So the boys studied here.
Okay.
So they spoke Emirati but Syrian. And then my mom spoke Egyptian but Syrian. And then we'd go to our grandma's house and everyone speaks Syrian. And then you'd hear the boys talk Emirati. And then you'd hear the women talk Masri. And then me and my brother like, let's stick to Jamaican or something. It's easier. Wagwan blood. Me gwan see grandma. Me gwan have some vine leaves. Me gwan love some sharba. Like... Pass me the Vimto.
What else would you do?
It's confusing. That's my issue with the Arabic. That's the thing.
But you seem to have found your place though in how you deliver your comedy, and it works because I understood it. And
and probably dissociated like 50% of your audience. But Arabic, and this is the other issue that I have, is we live in a Middle Eastern country, and like there's comedy in Desi or Hindi, Urdu, English. There's now Russian popping off. There's Tagalog. Arabic is still trying to find its place after. And I was here in the beginning of comedy in 2008, so 15 years. Still no proper Arabic comedy scene. There were a bunch of people who came, and funnily enough, they moved to Germany because the Arabic comedy scene is way better in Germany. Can you believe that?
In Germany?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because there's a lot of Syrian immigrants now and other immigrants before, and now they're touring Germany. Like Iman Khallouf and Ammar Daba. They went to
Wow.
Yeah.
I would not know that.
Yeah, but now they're starting something. There's a Lebanese group that's starting something called Shafastak. I'm gonna mess it up. It's some Lebanese word. Shafastak.
Safatak?
Safatak, I guess, yeah.
Did I just guess that?
Maybe, yeah. Maybe
Safatak think I slap you.
something, maybe like from a comedy.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the whole theme of this,
The
is
whole
just
theme.
clapping.
There's a clapping theme.
So they started.
Wow, that's crazy. So, okay, so going back, so you had a crazy
Identity
crisis, and you grew up with, a tough thing with your dad. So how did you find are you like Chandler, where you basically deal with trauma with humor? You're Chandler, aren't you?
I'm not as sarcastic as Chandler, but yeah, I think humor was a good
escape.
It was that, and also because I was a very quiet kid.
Really?
Yeah, because I was like embarrassed to speak Arabic.
Right.
And like I was just
you don't know which accent to use. Probably.
Exactly. Oh my god. And the other thing as well with Arabic, everyone's gonna think I'm like this Arab basher. But in Arabic, like the inanimate objects have male and female. And I don't know if you grew up like this, but Arabs are brutal. They make fun of you, but it comes from, it's like tough love. We'll make fun of your lisp. So that there was a guy in our school who had the lisp. They made fun of him until the lisp went.
Yeah.
And it's like, I remember like you say something in Arabic, it's like, oh, the le table. Do you speak French? I don't know.
Yeah.
So like le table. If you say le table, they're like, yeah, le table. It's a female. Don't you know? It's I'm sorry, I didn't see its feminine parts.
There needs to be like a support group for us Arabs, because I feel like, because I grew up here, like honestly, I genuinely think I escaped to LA because of all of this. Because like my parents would make fun of me. Like if I didn't do well in something, like it was a very like bullying culture.
Yeah.
And not to like knock everybody down. I'm sure not everyone's like this. We're not generalizing, but 90%.
Yeah.
Like we are teased into being better or bullied into understanding that something is wrong, which is like, I'm hoping that shifts, and then we could, do you use that in your humor? Do you talk about childhood stuff, or do you kind of keep it light?
No, I try to educate through culture. I'm not saying I had a bad childhood, but I'm just trying to I actually like to reflect, and I'm like, why did I turn out this way? Why didn't I speak Arabic? The thing that helped me speak Arabic was actually growing up in a neighborhood. I still remember the moments when like my mom or my brother would try to teach me Arabic, and it's like, you have to learn Arabic. Read a book. I hated reading books. I still hate reading books. I'm an audio person. I love learning. I just hate reading books.
Yeah.
Give me a Wikipedia article. I'll start with rabbits and then end up in like 1945, World War II somehow. I don't know. It's like, that rabbit hole. It's literally a rabbit hole.
Yeah.
But it's the childhood thing. I don't really talk. It wasn't really bad. It was a good childhood upbringing, but there were things that I'm sure this generation is trying to navigate. I don't know if you've probably seen people in the mall, like Arab family, and you can tell that the parents speak Arabic. They're our generation, but they're speaking to the kids in like perfect English. And I understand that I know what the gap is. Man, they should hire me for this.
What is the gap? That's so interesting.
The gap is the fact that what you're taught in school is not fun. It's strict. Have you ever done Arabic in school? School, like Nahu?
Yeah, I went to Quran school.
Yeah.
My dad forced me to go for 3 years.
Yeah, and if you think about it, like again, no disrespect.
Never use that.
No disrespect. I'm a devout Muslim. Alhamdulillah, Quran is a beautiful language. It's also kind of poetic in its way.
Yeah.
But no one speaks that Arabic. There are words that are still existing today because of the Quran, I believe. I think the Quran is what protected the Arabic language. You have Fusha, and then you have the 7 million dialects.
Exactly.
So you're learning 3.
Yeah.
And then also the whole point of the feminine, masculine, and also the point of like, I was watching like some Instagram reels and someone's like, Arabic, some white person's learning Arabic and they're like, 1 to 3 is feminine, except when you're talking about, I'm like, yeah, to me it makes sense because we took it in school, but I'm like, if someone's new, I'll be like, yeah, skip
There's
this.
no way. If someone says to me, oh, I want to learn Arabic, I'm like, don't.
Yeah.
Because you just won't. It's so hard. You either grow up with it or you don't.
But there are people who are like, it's so interesting. Like I've met people in Abu Dhabi that went to the NYU program and they speak Arabic. I've met Chinese people, I've met Russian people, they speak Arabic.
Wallah.
Properly,
Without growing up here?
No, they just did like university. They did a year, and it seems like the Arabic course is great.
Yeah.
But it's when the accents come. And we had a neighbor growing up, he was English, and he started speaking Arabic. First he started speaking Emirati. Then he started speaking Lebanese. So he just started off in an institute, and he goes, the trick is you have to think in that language.
Really? Oh.
Yeah, which is tricky because I don't even think in Arabic. What are you thinking?
I'm not sure what I think in. I don't think I think in Arabic.
I think in Jamaican. You know?
I think in Jamaican, actually. I'm not sure what I think in. I don't know. I've never thought about that. What are my thoughts in what language? I'll have to come back to you with that.
Yeah, I think everyone has a default language, and then when they're angry, you know someone is really from somewhere when they get angry.
Yeah. I think I get angry in Arabic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So your roots come out.
Yeah, the roots come out and it's scary.
Yeah.
I've heard. So I want to talk about...
Help me.
I want to talk about you on stage. If there is a young comedian, you're going to be very inspiring to this person. And what can you tell them about being on stage? Do you feel insecure ever when you're on stage?
I think comedy, you can't have a brittle spirit, as Dave Chappelle said. You can't be fickle. Like, it teaches you a lot, man. It really teaches. Like, another quote I love is, adversity introduces man to himself, Abraham Lincoln. And when you're on stage, you are really on your own. You are in a tough situation, but the payoff is huge. You know, it takes a long time. Dedication is the key. But you just have to, it's like art.
Yeah.
No one knows anything until probably when it's too late, or if they're lucky enough, they get to find out what their voice is, you know. A lot of great artists, I'm sure probably, like Vincent van Gogh, he didn't know he was going to be that big, you know, and then he passed away, and look at his art, you know.
Yeah.
It's still celebrated today.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he wasn't lucky enough to see that.
His success,
Yeah, maybe that was not his intention anyways. I can't speak on his behalf, but I'm just saying that's the same thing with being a comedian, right? It took me 10 years to kind of figure out my voice.
Would you say you are immensely confident?
No, not at all.
Really?
I think I have a huge lack of self-confidence.
Really?
Yeah, because it relies on, now I'm going to sound like a simp. I'm a Sigma male.
No.
I'm a beta.
You can't sound like a simp.
Yeah, but I need glasses. Well, let me tell you something, Naila. I used to wear glasses. So yeah, that's the thing. The lack of self-confidence comes from, because I see myself what I was before puberty. This guy with glasses, Harry Potter lesbian haircut. I look like Ellen DeGeneres.
Did you?
Yeah, with glasses.
Can we get a picture so we can put it up?
Yeah, we'll try and find
Is that
it.
okay?
If I find it, I'll use it for all publicity purposes. I'll try and find one. But yeah, the glasses, I look like Harry Potter. So I was that kid who didn't speak, and I never spoke in class unless it was to answer a question. And
Really?
I remember this moment. I'll never forget. One of the guys sitting next to me, I'm still friends with him. And he goes, hey, I want to try something. I go, yeah. He goes, just stand up and say exactly what I'm going to tell you in front of the class. And I got up, said it. No one laughed. He goes, now watch this. And he gets up, says the same thing. Everyone dies laughing. So that sort of like put me in my place. I'm like, okay, I know where I stand as a human being.
Ouch. But that's a little bit of a brutal exercise. What was his goal?
Nothing. I think it was just a laugh, or maybe he was trying to make me a man in a certain way. This is how I learned to be a man.
Are you still friends with him?
Yeah, we're good friends. No, it wasn't a bad thing.
Okay.
I don't think he had ill intent. It was just to me, it's a defining moment.
Maybe he was telling you about perception, or how people perceive you, and they're going to understand your delivery different.
He probably doesn't even know why he did it.
Oh,
if I asked him, if I'll see him at some point and I'll ask him. But it was interesting.
So how do you deal with if you are on stage and you say a joke and no one laughs?
Well, now, because if it's a joke that I've done, then I know, okay, it's not the joke's fault or my fault. Just people didn't get it. And if it's a new joke, then I go, hey, it's a new joke. It's the attempt that counts, you know.
But that's pretty strong. Like, for you to be that way, not beat yourself up about it. I think that's really strong. Do you know that? Like, from me as an outside person, I think it's very strong not to take that as a criticism, or to be like, oh, I didn't, you know.
I think if you say so.
That's what I think.
So that's what I'm saying. The lack of self-confidence. Yeah, if you say so. Because you said it, I'm like, okay.
Cool.
Yeah. I trust you.
I think I deal with like lack of self-confidence too. Yeah. Like I can never acknowledge my accomplishments, and I also will never ever have enough accomplishments. I think if I did 150 TED Talks, I would still be like, no, it's just not enough. And I don't know what that is. Is it being Arab, man? Is it like, what is it?
Because it could be that. I call it the artist's dilemma. So we're always self-critical of our own work.
Yeah.
I don't know if people who are like very logical have this issue. Like if you meet an autistic person or someone who's very high functioning, I don't know if the high functioning people probably have that issue.
Yeah.
But I'm saying like I've met a lot of artists, musicians, visual artists and stuff like that. And no one is ever satisfied with their own work.
Right.
But then, and it's weird, it can come from the closest person and you still don't believe it. Could be a partner and they're like, this is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. And you're like, what do you know? You're just saying that because you're my partner.
Right. You always find a reason that they would be saying that to you.
Yeah.
So do you deal with anxiety?
Not anxiety. Well, it's now excitement. There's that increased heart rate, let's call it. It's not a negative thing.
Yeah.
Adrenaline rush. Depression I did, but not with comedy. Actually, comedy helped a lot with the depression.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
How did you deal with coming out of your lowest point?
Therapy.
You've been to therapy?
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. Oh, a man who's been to therapy.
God,
Let's all take a moment.
Please relax. I drive BMW 7 Series. Please marry me. Oh, no.
You've been to therapy?
I don't drive a 7 Series. I don't drive. I don't get excited.
You're Emirati. You drive like...
No, I drive nothing. I drive a camel, wallah. That's all.
No,
I'm a humble peasant, wallah. Why are we talking about my car? Let's talk about therapy, the most important thing.
Therapy first, and then I'm going to guess your car. What is the most amazing thing you learned in therapy? Let's talk about 3 things you learned in therapy that changed your life.
Pain is good. Pain is an indicator. So you have to realize why you're having pain. So mental pain, for example. Why am I doing this? Why am I sick? Let's take it very simple. Why am I sick? My immunity is low. Why is my immunity low? Oh, because I've been overworking myself or I haven't been sleeping enough. Okay, so now I know what I need to do. I need to sleep more. Why am I being depressed? Is there a trigger? If there's a trigger, okay, cool. Some people are depressed, genetically speaking, they're prone to being depressed. I'm not a psychologist. I am a doctor though. But I'm not a psychologist or a psychiatrist, but being depressed has a reason.
Yeah.
Not all the time, but usually there's a trigger. Flight or fight, right?
Fight or flight, yeah.
Yeah, so... okay, why am I feeling depressed? And then the same psychiatrist, 1 out of probably 15, was telling me like something called the fertile void, which is, there's not a lot of research on it, but it's basically you are here and this is how you feel and this is you as a person. So just step back and just observe the feeling and observe how you are in the state and why, and sort of let the pain go through or the trauma go through or whatever, which is also similar to meditation, right? When you go do guided meditation, they always tell you like, all right, just scan your body. Where do you feel the pain? You know, and then just let it go. Just be a gentle flow. And it works. Yeah, I'm making fun of it, but it actually works.
Yeah.
So that was, I think, one of the most important things. The other thing was, I guess human behavior, like X plus Y equals Z. So why does a person do this? I was cheated on. I was married, and then I was in an emotional abusive relationship, and then she cheated on me. Not physically, just so that people know. But anyways, the point is, why did it lead to that? Because X, Y, Z led to that.
Her behavior is more about her, obviously.
Yeah, 100%.
Deal with that, yeah.
Because I saw the guy was Asian. I was like, it's definitely not my body part department. I think. I mean, just saying. I was like, hey,
it's ما كنت منقص يعني.
I hope not.
No.
If it was a black guy, I'd be like, okay, I get it. I understand.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I just can't stop.
No. I like that you can joke about it, but that's pretty tough. I've been cheated on before too.
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry.
Physically.
Yeah, I'm really sorry. That's
multiple people.
Really sorry.
But yeah, something about that.
Not that I did it. But
I know you're more sorry than he is.
No, it's
so nice to hear.
It's really the worst feeling.
It's the worst feeling in the world.
Yeah, and you know, I remember, man, I've never been that angry in my life ever. And I joke about things I joked earlier in this episode that may or may not make it. But it has happened to me. And I was like, I would rather that happen to me 20 times over than being cheated on. And I remember when that happened, I was like, I understand why it's allowed in religion to, like, I don't know, stone someone who cheats on their spouse. Obviously, if you have 4 witnesses in Islam, it's a different topic. But I'm just like, that burning feeling that you feel inside, it's horrible.
It's awful.
It's horrible because again, and I was like, why is it horrible? Let me figure out the fertile void. Why is it horrible?
No, but that's great that you did that to find out why, because living with that pain is just an immense amount of suffering for no reason. You have to try to dive into what the reasons are that you're feeling that pain, right? And how to let go of it. It took me like 4 years.
I haven't let go of it, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm not just like, it's like, I'll forgive everyone in this world except that person. And that's my burden to deal with. I know it's not a good thing. I know that hate is a coal that burns the person who holds it. I know all these things logically,
no,
but my heart.
Sometimes it's just hard to forgive. Yeah. I'll tell you a little secret that nobody knows. Actually, the person who cheated on me was Arabic, and ever since I never dated anyone Arabic.
Yeah, and I'm traumatized as well from Arabs.
Yeah, so now
because I was married to someone who's Arab.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say all Arabs cheat, but I think maybe if we were in a funnier episode and I was in a different country, maybe I would say that, but I don't want to offend anyone. But genuinely, I've made it's ruined my life in that way, because I feel like, of course, there's so many, there could have been many other partners that were, might have been the one or whatever that I have looked past, but because of that
trauma. Yeah, I know. It's weird, right? Isn't that a bit scary how it's like, and it creeps up. Because you're just like, okay, I'm with this person. Everything seems fine. But they do this thing. Maybe it's the beginning of that trauma that I'm going to go through.
Yeah.
That I went through before. I don't want to relive this. And it's unfair. What is it? What's that saying again? Another saying. It's if you don't heal your wounds, you bleed on others or something.
Yes.
There's something like that.
That is a very powerful saying. Very powerful saying. That's why we go to therapy.
Yeah, we do. But it's funny how the people who make you go to therapy are the ones who need the therapy.
Who need the therapy the most. Oh my God, yeah. My mom used to always be like, oh gosh, therapy, what a load of bull. And I'm like, you literally need therapy, my friend.
Yeah. But do you think there's an end point to it? Like, as one of the comedians says, when do you complete therapy?
I don't think you ever complete therapy, to be honest, because I think looking at it being like complete is saying that you are now no longer in need of growth, which I think is bullshit. Like, everybody needs to grow, and once you grow to that point, I'm sure there's even bigger avenues to get to. I don't think anyone is just like a complete human being. Like, this person's just perfect, and they are serving the world and serving themselves in such a perfect way that they could just no longer grow. There's a stagnancy in that. So I think there's always things to look into. So the person who asked that probably I was at that point once, and I think you just have the wrong therapist, because if you start to rotate things around and around, you know, and then you're like, okay, I'm not doing anything with you here. I think it's nice to kind of venture and like maybe look into another person, but I don't think you ever stop growing.
Yeah, I think maybe with the therapist, let's say therapist A, you can reach a certain point, and then you're like, okay, thank you very much. You helped me with this.
Yeah.
I'm going to move on to the next one. And I'm just speaking from experience, because when I was married, I was anxious and depressed, and I didn't even know that I was going through that. And they were alluding it to different things. So like, my mom wasn't happy with the marriage, and she was the only one who knew that there was something wrong. But our parents don't really tell you why. Yeah. They just tell you, do it. Yeah. It's bad. Why? Oh, I can't give you a reason. It's like,
and it's like the mother hunch is always right.
Yeah. And if I were in that situation and I had a kid, I'd be like, listen, I was once your age. I was once just you and like a Cat Stevens song. But now,
just like in a great delivery, just like that in a song. Yeah. Let me tell you, my boy.
Tap dance.
Just so you know, she's a bitch.
Or I just do a stand-up bit and invite them to the comedy show. I'd be like, this one's dedicated to my boy's future wife.
Something like, tell us. Yeah, my mom used to hate my friends, and she never would tell me why. She would just hate them for no reason. But most of the time, she kind of knew what was going on. Yeah. But I'm really sorry that you went through that. I feel like you've come out of it. Yeah, I feel like you've come out of it stronger. You make people laugh. I don't know if you understand the power of that. I'm jealous of that. I think it's so, like, you don't know, when I was looking at my phone, I'm just laughing my ass off. You know, you're probably just minding your own business at your house, like not realizing that there's thousands of people. So it's a reminder from me to you that you're doing amazing. I was probably yelling at my cat, get off the cat. And you're like laughing. You have a cat?
Yeah, I have a cat.
Can you walk me through?
He helped me so much.
Did he?
Wallahi. Like, because...
What's wrong with mine? Because he's not helping me at all.
Oh my God, he helped me so much. Like during the divorce, I was just like, thank you so much.
Really?
I love this cat.
What kind of cat is it?
I think he's a tabby or Turkish Angora or a Norwegian forest cat. Based on his personality, it sounds like a Norwegian forest cat.
Okay.
Because they're like dogs.
Yeah. Oh.
Like he'll come sleep on me and like wants to cuddle and it's like whatever you're eating, he wants to eat.
Yeah.
It's like
that's so
watermelon.
sweet.
I want watermelon for some reason. Peanut butter.
Oh.
Yeah. It sounds like a very racist sketch.
Why watermelon and peanut butter?
And fried chicken. I don't want to say that part, but he loves fried chicken, watermelon, and peanut butter. That's God made him that way.
What color is he? Okay, we'll move on.
He's gray.
Wait, I'm so jealous of your cat because I just got a cat and I'm going through a really rough time right now, and I haven't opened up about it publicly, so I will just say rough time.
We'll talk about it in the Patreon.
Yes, Yes, I know.
And the only therapy fans.
Yes, I think I might actually have a Patreon because a lot of people want to know, and I'm like,
I swear you'll be like, I'm gonna do an OnlyFans. I'm like, no,
no,
therapy quickly. By the way, you can have an OnlyFans and do like halal things. By the way, but people don't realize that, but they just associate it with.
The only way I would have an OnlyFans is if I can sell pictures of my feet.
Yeah.
Like the furthest body part from me.
Yeah. People wouldn't even notice your feet. You could be taking pictures of other people's feet.
If I can make money taking pictures of my feet, I mean, honestly, how amazing would that be?
Cat
I'm
paws.
not gonna cat paw, anything, like anything just furthest away from the good stuff, you know? I would do an OnlyFans in that case. It's like only feet, maybe.
So you got the cat. And
so I got the cat and I'm like, help me. And maybe I put too much pressure on him. Bless him. He's only 2 months old.
Oh God. Yeah. He's a kitten. He's trying to figure out paw-eye coordination.
He is, yeah. But he like loves me and I go to him and then he rejects me. And I'm like, you're just like every other guy I've dated.
Yeah.
So now he's like traumatizing me. I'm like, love me, please. Last night he just like, he came to me and I was just like, yay, finally getting that affection. He's been home like a week. So I'm putting too much pressure on this guy.
I think you need to cry in front of him.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna go. I have tears.
I used to cry during that time, and it'd be like, just come to me. I'm like, I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm ready. This is the exercise we're gonna do tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. That's good to know that cats can be nicer than my cat.
Yeah, no, they feel. I think animals are smarter than humans because if you think at a certain degree, it's because it's like you can call a cat and they know that you're calling them by their name.
Yeah.
I know there's a mechanism of sorts, but it's like if a cat was meowing at me, I wouldn't even know what he wants, except when it's food time. But if it was any other point, I'd be like, sorry, man, we've been together for 10 years. I don't know what you're trying to say. But a cat, I'm like, yo. And it's like, okay, I know I did something wrong.
Oh, I want to meet the cat.
Yeah.
He sounds like a lovely cat. So, question for you. Am I allowed to ask you about dating since you're Emirati?
Yeah, go
Is it
ahead.
inappropriate?
No, go ahead.
Okay.
It's haram.
Is it haram? I never know what's haram anymore, by the way. I don't know what's haram because everybody's so easygoing now and it's so chilled. And I feel like I've lived in LA for too long.
That's the problem. I know.
You know what's haram.
I know. I'm like, and
really?
I have a filter in my head. Man, there's things I'll tell you later, but it's just, sometimes I'm like doing something and I shouldn't be. And I'm just hearing Quran in my head. I'm like,
just like God is judging.
Away. Just no worries, dude. Just don't worry about it, man.
Yeah, you never know. We have an internal voice, I think, everybody. Like, I grew up Muslim, so I have an internal voice. But like, don't do it. But yeah. So, are you dating now?
No.
Do you want to date?
I'm open to it.
This sounds like I'm asking you out, by the way. It's not. No.
Where is the tea?
Oh, is that what you're supposed to do?
No.
Oh, okay.
In some cultures, they are.
Really?
Yeah, when you go get engaged, time you see the person, she has to serve you tea. And it's like that sort of like innocent glance, like, and then they have the tea and it's like, good tea. That means I want to marry.
Sounds like a Bollywood movie.
Yeah, it sounds, by the way, it's within a lot of cultures. Like my best friend, Iraqi, married a Chinese girl. There was a tea ceremony.
There is. But so you're not dating, you don't want to date.
It's not that I don't want to date. It's just I'm open to it. I think you should know someone. After what I went through with marriage, I think you should know someone.
For a long time, right?
Not just that. And I know this is going to sound contradicting because trying to be a good Muslim. But I think you should live with someone. Really, you should live with them. And even if it's like, oh no, but that's haram. Yeah, I get it. It's haram. But you know what sucks?
What's also haram? Divorce.
Divorce isn't haram. Actually, it's very halal.
Okay,
but
is it?
It's very halal.
Oh.
But they make you feel crap about it.
Oh, yeah.
Because the other person is trying to emotionally manipulate you.
Yeah.
There's like a hadith that people say, it's like, أبغض الحلال الطلاق. It's like the worst halal is divorce. It's like, how can God make something good but make you feel bad?
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't make sense. Halal means permissible. It's okay, but God doesn't like it. That's wrong.
That's wrong. That's
wrong.
not true. What do you know about what God likes also? Like
Yeah.
we know by the book of generally what's going on,
Yeah.
but you can't like make stuff up. You know what I mean?
But people like to emotionally manipulate you in any way, right? Or
Yes.
blackmail you.
Oh
We
my
know
gosh,
this. We
yeah.
could write a whole book about it.
We really can. I'm personally a magnet for narcissists.
Yeah.
Like people I attract in my life are usually like my dad, and I'm just realizing this now in therapy. So I genuinely believe what you said is probably the best advice ever for dating. Like, get to know the person that you are going to marry. Do people realize the impact of the word marriage? Like, you're gonna die. You're saying you're gonna die with this person.
Yeah.
Like, I'm looking at you now and I'm thinking, do you know what abs in 10, 20 years is going to want?
No.
You're saying now marrying someone, this is really bad. I'm going to get so much hate for this. But you're saying now that you're going to marry this person, which means you know exactly what you're going to want, 31, 32, 33, 34, all the way up until you die. I've lived this and I realize that people change, people grow.
Yeah.
And you also see like true colors come out. Some people hide their true colors like for a really long time. It's impressive.
We know that.
Yeah, we know that.
Yeah.
So this is like, it became an anti-marriage podcast, but I think people will relate.
I mean, look, dating taught me that being vulnerable is very important. Like, it's weird, right? We feel like we have to trust someone first before we can be vulnerable, but actually you're supposed to be vulnerable with someone to trust them. Because if I act how I normally act, and then they react in a negative way, then I feel bad because they don't like me for who I am. So then I have to mold myself for them.
That's
just
wrong. You
wrong.
just described manipulation. Because manipulation is somebody hurting you and then being upset about your reaction to the hurt.
Yeah.
That is literally manipulation.
But everyone lives through that.
Yeah.
Or they believe that's the right thing to do, right? In society. It's like, I have to act a certain way because, and again,
because I don't
maybe
want to
this is
upset the person.
Yeah, maybe this is us growing up as Arabs. I'm not trying to badmouth, but it's just, you have to have a role in society, but sometimes if you deviate from what society considers as a norm,
you're a bad man.
You're a bad person, but you should also be able to at least question it.
Yeah.
Like, I hate people who always say like, oh, you have to respect it. It's a culture. It's like, really? Female mutilation is a culture in parts of Africa. I can't even say why.
Yeah.
No, it's a culture. We have to respect it. I don't want to respect. There's a tribe in Brazil. There's a tribe in Brazil that when you get married in the Amazon, your wife has to sleep with all your male relatives, so your brothers, uncles, dad, so that you don't feel jealous. I can't say why. Can I not? Hey, I'm sorry. That sounds a bit fishy. No, that's your culture. We have to respect their culture.
Wait, so that you don't get jealous.
Yeah, she has to sleep with everyone. It's your fault, by the way. It's your fault, so she has to sleep with everyone.
This is by far the craziest, most interesting, weird thing I've ever heard.
What if this woman had kids before you got married? Do your kids had, like, you know what I mean? Like, where does it stop?
Yeah, where does it stop? And it's like, like we don't know anything about life. Like we created tribes and made these sets of rules that made no sense. And now it's 2024 and people are like, no, we got to stick by the culture. Yeah, no, we're on the same, we're kindred souls. We are on the same page.
Yeah.
So if I was to ask you this very personal question, you can say you don't want to answer
I'm
it.
gay.
But if I was, are you gay? Can you please come out on my podcast because I want the views.
I'm like, who says I'm gay?
Who says you? Why are you gay?
A lot of gay people actually hit me up, which is fine. That's fine. You know, love is love, in my opinion. You know, but I like the gay people who ask me this. They ask in a very polite way. They go, "Are you straight?" Because you can't get offended by that question.
Yeah.
But some people are very homophobic and they get offended. I'm not, but they get offended by that question. Like, are you gay? I'm not gay. Who says I'm gay? I'm not gay. I'll prove it to you. I'm not gay. I swear to God, I'm not gay. It's like, but are you straight? I'm like, I'm not straight. I am straight. I mean, I am. Oh shit. I dug myself a hole. So Freudian slip. I don't know how I know that term. It's not even part of my vocabulary, but I do a lot of therapy. Freud. Yes.
So
sorry, ask
no,
first.
it's fine.
Yeah.
So you're not gay, which is good that we've cleared that. So
for now, we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens
after the divorce. I was like, why be straight? Try the other way. Those guys know what they want. They literally know to the T.
Yeah, they really do.
They're like, you are top. Okay, I am bottom.
Khalas. It's understood. There's like no manual, but it's like, okay. Oh, I need so much more time with you.
I'm gay. I'm kidding.
Are you?
I'm kidding. No gays. This is run by the gays.
So So
He did the gay jazz
he
hands.
really did jazz hands. He did jazz hands. So thank you for sharing, by the way.
it's okay.
So what do you look for in a partner?
It's a very hard question
Other than
to
loyalty,
answer.
obviously.
It's a hard question to answer. I think we don't know what we want. I think we definitely know what we don't want. Because you can be dating someone and then you realize, oh, I kind of like that. I didn't know I like that. But I know what I don't like is someone who's disrespectful, not just to me, but in general. Like
Manners.
the biggest turn off is like, you go out with someone and they're like disrespectful to the wait staff. Like, why? How? Like, why are you doing this? Oh no, so that they do their job better. It's like, no,
Oh my
you're
God,
an
who is this
asshole.
person?
Yeah, I haven't met them, but I'm sure that's their.
Yeah. I've heard some pretty horrible stories from my guy friends about dating.
I thought you were gonna say about me. I'm like, oh God.
No horrible stories about you yet.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
Yeah, there's some horrible stories out there about dating in Dubai, that it's hard.
I don't believe it. It blows my mind because I'm from Dubai. I grew
Yeah.
up in the 90s, but I grew up
Yeah.
in a time where Dubai was like, I guess, Al Ain in the 90s,
Yeah.
Not that Al Ain has really changed, but now I can tell like Dubai changed. That's a different topic. We'll talk about all the migration people, but let's stick to this deep convo ting, innit?
Convo.
DCT mandem,
So there's
Me like it.
So that's the accent we went with. The
Me
Jamaican
go and
one.
like it, yeah. Me go and see in therapy. Me go and see the doctor.
So there's a perfect woman in front of you. Okay. Describe her? Is standing right there.
Mom?
Oh, wait, do
By
you want
the
to date
way,
your mom? That's
no.
so cute.
No. No. If
You-
someone has the same name as my mom, I'm like, ugh, no, that's a big X. Like, you can't.
They say though men end up dating women that are very similar to their moms.
And I think women end up dating guys similar to their dads or
Yeah.
what they wanted their dads to be.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. So
I became the fixer in all my relationships. 'Cause of that,
yeah, I was trying to be
Yeah.
the fixer, and then I realized, hey, it's not my responsibility. And I felt bad, by the way. I felt
Really?
very bad that I remember I went out with someone a couple of times, and I'm like, why? Logically, it makes sense to me that respect them. They don't want to be with you. They're not good for you.
Yeah.
They have
Toxic.
problems.
Yeah.
They have not toxic. They just have their own problems that they don't know how to deal with, like substance abuse or whatnot. And it's just like, but in me, I'm like, I want to fix them.
Yeah.
I'm going to be the person and they're going to be, and it's like, it's not your fault. It's not your job.
It's not it's responsibility. Yeah.
But logically that makes sense, but the heart always wins, right? The
Right.
heart is stronger,
Yeah.
which by the way is mentioned in the Quran. Not trying to be a super duper Muslim, but it is actually, the heart is mentioned more than the mind because the heart actually does.
Do most of the work.
Feelings are very strong,
Yeah.
very, very strong. And there's a great lecture by Nu'man Ali Khan who talks about the heart, the soul, the mind. And the soul is something that's very difficult to figure out. The heart and the mind and where they play, like how they work with each other. But anyways, that's a different topic. Perfect woman. I don't know. It's just someone who is respectful, someone who's nice, someone who brings peace. Because peace, again, I'm bringing it back to the Quran. There's a dua. It's like, Rabbi habli min dhurriyyati wa azwaji. Rabbi habli min dhurriyyati wa zawjati qurrata a'yunin waj'alni lil muttaqina imama. God grant me children and a wife that are the coolness of my eyes. And coolness of my eyes is just basically like you look at them and you just feel calm.
Yeah.
Like I know it sounds very like lovey-dovey romantic, but eyes, man, there's guys who crumble
Yeah.
when they look at someone's eyes.
Yeah.
They just forget everything.
Yeah. I think you're right too, because I felt like in the relationships where I wasn't happy, your nervous system is on edge and you don't really realize. I think you mentioned that earlier, like you're so anxious and everything feels like you've had like,
Why
you're
do I have
over
constipation?
caffeinated.
Why am I? Yeah.
Your body's just like, everything is blocked and
Yeah.
it's the
gut feeling. And I'm sure with girls it's probably more like your cycle's messed up or like God knows what. Guys,
Yeah.
it's just like, I ate something bad the other day. It's
weird.
not that.
I've ate something bad for the past 6 years.
Yeah.
What's going on?
I should keep smoking. It'll be good for me.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no real answer, right? I don't
Yeah.
I think there's someone maybe perfect for a certain time. I know this is going to sound very bleak, but I personally believe maybe you're not meant to be with someone for the rest of your life. Maybe 20 years tops.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, look, we had a great run. We raised great kids.
Yeah.
I wish you the best. Salam alaikum.
I agree.
You know?
Yeah.
Maybe. I could be wrong.
There's a TED Talk about this, actually. I'll send it to you later.
Great.
It's incredible. It's this guy that basically explains the proof behind why we cannot know what we want in the future.
No one can. No one
can.
knows themselves.
What we want. Yeah, exactly.
You know that saying? They're like, 3 things are certain in life. Life, birth, change, and death.
Yeah.
And I remember like one of my friends was saying, don't marry someone for their looks because looks change. And I was like, no, asshole. Their personality changes as well.
That's more important. Yeah.
And he was a doctor. He was a smart guy. So I could call him an asshole because I'm a doctor too as well. But he's hired doctor. I'm peasant doctor. I really don't know how to answer that. I can tell you what I don't like is disrespect. Someone who's just chaotic. In the sense, maybe unintentionally they're chaotic, but they're just chaotic. You know? I've worked on myself. Yeah. Work on yourself.
Yes, exactly.
And I will be patient.
Yeah.
I will be patient. But just do something. And
Bring
unfortunately,
peace.
when you're nice and you're patient, the moment that you just have a little, you're like, you're an asshole. And it's like, okay.
Yeah.
So,
it's a fine
yeah.
line. But you got to just stick
supportive.
to your guns and supportive.
Someone who can be independent, you know?
Yeah.
Not all the time, but it's just like, I have a very hectic schedule.
Yeah, have your own stuff going on.
Yeah, I'm between Abu Dhabi and Dubai, comedy, dentistry, traveling.
Yeah, you're a dentist, yeah.
Yeah, not the traveling. I don't go to people's like, time to fix your holes.
Are you you're actively working as a
yeah.
Oh, okay.
How can I finance my Emirati lifestyle?
Yeah.
I want to give back to
Someone's
the community.
gonna pay for the 2 phones.
Yeah.
Do you have a G-Wagon?
No, I don't. That's a different story. I'll tell you later.
You promise that you don't have a G-Wagon? Because I have literally yet to meet an Emirati without a G-Wagon.
Unfortunately, I don't have a G-Wagon. But that's a different story. I'll tell you. It gets sadder.
It gets sadder than not having it?
I don't have a G-Wagon. I have another car.
I feel so sorry for you.
I'm so sad.
How do you just live this life of mediocrity?
I wake up in fabric seats. I'm sleeping in my car for some reason. That's a problem.
That will have to actually, we need a different kind of therapy.
What's
for
a perfect guy for you?
Well, I would say, yeah,
Emirati.
somebody's. I don't think Emiratis like me. They tend to steer away from my direction. I don't know. Maybe I'm a bit like intimidating or something.
It's not easy.
I'm not Arabic enough for Emiratis.
No, it's not easy because people think we're fixed in one box. By the way, we're a minority, but we're very diverse.
Really?
Yeah, like
maybe,
you'll have
I
a
don't know.
neighbor, like if you were in an Ain, if your 2 neighbors were Emirati, one could be like super religious, the other ones are like...
Yeah, I loved all my friends are Emirati up until I left to LA. So yeah, maybe. Yeah. But my perfect guy, I think now it's like genuinely somebody who's on the same consciousness frequency. And I know it sounds super like complicated, but like we both are...
You lost half every Arab.
Conscious
frequency? شو هاي الراديو؟ FM?
And no, both of us have worked on ourselves and happy to grow together. I can't deal with somebody who's just like stuck in their own ways, rigid mindset, stubbornness. This is who I am. I'm a man. I don't talk about my feelings. Okay, خلص الفيز وتعا بعدين.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because the phases suck you dry and drain your energy. Energy vampires are usually people who are just, you feel it, right?
Yeah.
They walk in the room and you're like, oh, I'm so exhausted. And I don't want to be your sensei and your teacher, you know? Like, I want you to inspire me and teach me. And like, or we teach each other.
Yeah.
That's literally become the only thing I look for now. Yeah. Like, I don't even care about looks anymore or personality. It's like, as long as, well, personality usually comes with, if you want to grow, you probably have a good personality.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I think if you are in that set of mind, your mindset, you usually don't want to cheat and, you know, run around and, you know.
The cheating thing is a very complicated topic that maybe one day we'll talk about properly.
Some lady came on the podcast the other day and told me that 82% of men cheat.
Yeah, but you know, women cheat too.
And and there's a big amount of as well.
And there's a phase in life. Like I met this other guy because I was like that when I was married. When I was married, like I was a late bloomer, but when I was married, I saved myself for marriage. I say I saved myself. It's not like people are like, oh my God. I was like, please wait. I have to, astaghfirullah.
Guys,
I have to get married. Please. I am saving myself for the right one. Put your labias away, please. But no, but when I was married, I remember one of my friends told me, he's like, man, marriage changes you because when you get married, you look at women in a different light, other women, and not in a disrespectful or like, I remember he was like, it sort of protects you. it's very weird, man, being a guy. So he's like, you look at women and maybe they're dressed up in a certain way, which is fine. Women can dress up however they want. But as a single guy, you'd be like, oh my God, she's like, but when you're married, you're like, oh man, if that was my daughter, I don't know if I'd feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Not that it's their right to tell the person, but your mind shift changes.
That's the person that's not going to cheat. The mind shift change.
Yeah.
Not the person who is getting tempted.
Yeah, some people are still in the temptation phase, and
Yeah.
that's something they need to deal with. And maybe it's a phase.
Yeah.
I believe it's a phase.
Yeah.
Women have their time of the month, men have their time of the day.
Yeah.
Really, we really do. We're like, we get possessed until the testosterone comes out, and we're like, how did I wake up on this bus? Where am I? Like, oh my God, I was sleeping in my fabric car. I'm pretty sure someone was here.
Just in temptation.
Yeah, but when I was
temptation
married, I was just like, I would never look at another woman in that way.
That's nice to know that some good men are still left.
That was me married. That was 10 years ago. I don't know how I am now. Things changed. I told you I'm a late bloomer. So maybe I'm going to be the biggest asshole at 45. I don't know. We'll see.
Don't do that. Don't fall for that trap. Don't fall for the trap that, you get hurt. This is what happens. This is how fuckboys are made.
Yeah, they become villains.
They become villains. They're like,
people.
I'm going to hurt every woman in my way.
Like Batman, if you've ever watched Two-Face, he's the lawyer, Harvey Dent. He's a nice guy. And then he goes, hurt me.
Yes. Please don't be that.
No,
You're so pure and so nice.
No, I'm not pure. I'm just human being, wallah.
Wallah, you're so lovely. It's so nice
you're
to
very
talk
lovely,
to
wallah.
you.
I'm going to hide under. Now I don't know what to say.
I love talking to you.
Thank you.
I could
Likewise,
do
it was
this
fun.
honestly like for another hour. Wallah, Amjad.
Another
so
time.
Nice.
We'll go to the comedy show now.
I would love to.
And then we'll go for the little walk if you want, if you have the time.
Yalla, I'll have to check with my nanny about
Sounds
my
good.
daughter.
Yeah.
But thank you so much
Thank
for the
you for
invite
having
and
me.
for being here. I
No,
really
thank
appreciate
you.
it.